Welcome coffee lovers, welcome back to our channel, Jive Coffee Company. We have a really fun video today. Today we are taste testing some new coffee options for late summer, fall, winter, so we're just getting prepared for that. And yeah, so we're gonna have some fun today tasting coffee, naming it, and we'll also give you guys a chance to name it in the comments.
Yeah, so how this kind of came about is that we've had people asking, like, are you guys doing new stuff for the fall and winter? And also we've got some newer origins that we have in stock that we kind of wanted to experiment a little bit with because we haven't included them too much in some of our blends that we've had for a while. So kind of just in the mood for some experimentation here. And so Zoe and I decided after we roasted yesterday that I would just kind of mix things together, and then we were going to brew them up today and do kind of an unscripted taste testing video and give you guys an opportunity to give us some feedback as well as in terms of which ones that you would be the most interested in having available. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let them know what these taste like.
So which one should we start with? This one right here?
Sure.
Okay, so the first one we have right here, we're actually going to call this one with Sailboat, which is basically just like dried oranges, cinnamon, and something you use to like boil in a pot and make your house smell nice during fall, Christmas time. So that's what this one is. We think it tastes kind of like that smells, so yeah, we taste this one and give our flavor descriptions on it.
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of complex. It's a little bit like earthy, like I can think of like, you know, cinnamon sticks, and yet it's kind of toasty and like warm.
Yeah. Has a little bit of that like citrus splash.
Yeah, just a little bit. So it kind of like has a well-rounded but kind of unique flavor to it that just changes a little bit as you taste it.
And then we're gonna do our second option for the West Sailboat. We have two options because we thought they sounded kind of similar in taste testing, so you should want to go ahead and try that one to see if we like better for the West Sailboat option.
Ooh, I think I like this one a little bit better. This one is maybe just a little bit milder. I think it lacks a little bit of toastiness.
It's less bold and strong. It's kind of a little bit lighter of a coffee.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Zoe? Because you and I, we tend to have slightly different coffee preferences. So what would you say?
I feel like the Sailboat number 2, the one we just tried, is a little bit more of a medium roast, more like a creamery lover's option on this blend. But it kind of depends on what we're like. If we have a lot of dark roast, we should probably go with the lighter one in that collection.
So the other thing we wanted to do as well is if you would be interested in, for example, I like number 2 a lot, is that if you have another like name idea based on how we describe it or something like that, or you're kind of like, okay, that idea of like, you know, is cool, but if you have name ideas, go ahead and jot those in the comments, and we'd love to hear your creativity. So sometimes Zoe and I, we're trying to come up with ideas, and sometimes we're a little bit stumped, and sometimes we feel like we've got a creative idea, but we know there's a lot of creative people out there, so feel free to drop some ideas for us.
So yes, if you're gonna do that, just put down below like the name of the coffee that we called it, and then an alternative name, just so we know which coffee you're exactly talking about. So if you want it, yeah, for the names, just do like West Sailboat and then dash new name something or other, you know, just so it's easier for us to term in the coffee. So yeah, let's go on the next one. I think we're gonna try this one. So this one we're calling the Nutcracker Blend just because it has a nice blend of nutty coffees. So I thought Nutcracker for a Christmas line would be really nice. So I'm gonna try this one. Yeah, it definitely has like a hazelnut, kind of pecan-like nutty flavor with a little bit of toastiness, kind of like toasted hazelnuts, toasted pecans. So I thought Nutcracker was a really good, Nutcracker Blend was a good name.
Yeah, I feel like there's almost like different nut flavors in there, like maybe some almonds or some macadamia nut. I guess, you know, it's definitely nutty though, so I think it fits the Nutcracker Blend name. So let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. If you're a fan of nutty coffees, this one might be a great one for you.
Okay, so the next one we're try, we don't really have a name for this one yet, but we know we want this one to be a fall blend. So if you guys have any really good names down below, this one's like completely just out there. We don't know, we just know it's for fall. So this is a fall blend, we're gonna call it for now. So you wanna try it first and give the flavor notes?
I feel like it's a little toasty. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's a smooth, toasty.
I think it's like
slightly like
milk chocolatey.
Yeah.
It's not super sweet, but it's definitely not
A little
dark
tiny.
chocolatey.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit.
It's like a campfire s'mores kind of thing.
Right, but it's not super toasty. I feel like it's not, that like really kind of toasty, smoky that some of the really dark, coffee lovers like. But I feel like it's got body, like it has this roundedness and smoothness to it. So
yeah. So the next one we have is this one, which we're calling cordial cherries, because we were looking at the coffees we put in there, and it's like some were kind of chocolatey and one of them's kind of fruity. So we thought cordial cherries might be a good name, since you kind of have those around fall time, anyways.
Well, even like Christmas. I mean, those are kind of a Christmas candy. I feel like this has the bittersweet notes of like that dark chocolate that's usually covering the cordial cherries.
It does have a tiny hint of fruitiness though. There's like a little fruity burst at the end.
Yeah. One thing I mentioned is we're drinking all of these coffees black, and because we really want to try to figure out what the flavor notes are of them naturally. But I feel like this one, if you added like a little bit of cherry flavor syrup and a little bit of cream, it really would embody that cordial cherry flavor just because of that dark chocolatey side of it.
Or if you put in like if you made it into like a little homemade mocha with cherry, that'd be really pull out the flavors there.
Definitely.
So yeah, we've done all the ones in the front, so let's go on to this one right here. So
okay, now this one was one that we thought maybe would be a little bit of more Christmassy time, and we thought it was kind of nutty, so we're gonna call it peanut brittle.
Because it has a nice syrupy flavor as well. We did try these beforehand just to make sure none of them were absolutely disgusting. Because
sometimes actually, strangely enough, coffees don't blend well, like different origins from different countries.
Yeah.
So
that one definitely has a nutty kind of like, again, hazelnut or like an almond flavor, but it does have that like syrupy smooth sweetness. I really think peanut brittle really embodies that coffee.
And there is nothing added to it. It's just part of the nature of one of the origins that is in that blend that has kind of that syrupy side to it. And I can tell you for sure, that particular origin, if you also drink the coffee cold, like if you like to let your coffee cool down, it's actually even more syrupy. The syrupiness comes out even more.
So honestly, that'd be a good one if you got yourself some peanut butter creamer, and I know people who do like to put maple syrup in their coffees. That would have been really good. And the next one we have is another peanut butter one. We call this one peanut butter cup because it has chocolate notes and peanut buttery notes. So if this one tastes like peanut butter cups, it's gonna be really good. Yeah, it definitely has that like, I don't know what to call it. Like it definitely has that peanut like flavor, but also the chocolate. Like the first sip is like peanut, and then like the aftertaste a little bit is kind of chocolatey. It's really weird, but it tastes good. And it's really smooth, like a peanut butter cup. Like I think that's one aspect of peanut butter cups is that they're just this like creamy smooth, and I would say this one definitely embodies that. So, and I think this one is a really nice one even to drink black, even for people who maybe tend to add cream. I feel like it's got, that coffee flavor, but it doesn't like have an aftertaste that's unpleasant. And sometimes I think that's what people who are adding cream want to do, is to maybe get rid of a little bit of the aftertaste. But this one is really smooth. Yeah, so the next 5 coffees we don't have any names for. We had no idea what these were going to taste like, because some of these coffees we put in here were a little abstract. So we're going to be naming these as we go and trying to give name things. So yeah, the first one, you want to try this one and see what we think of it? All right, so again, we're not going to give away any details of what origins are in it, but we'll give you some of the flavor notes, so if you can... And then, we'll try to think of names on the spot, but also, especially for these ones, leave your comments down below. This one's a little citrusy, I would say, and then maybe a little bit milk chocolatey. It's pretty smooth. I'd say it's really smooth. It's kind of like as smooth as the previous one. Chocolate-covered orange peel or something. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, kind of. Kind of like if you get a box of chocolates around Christmas time, and there's those different ones that have like things that are filled. Yeah, kind of like the orange one. But it's not, some people love those and some people don't, but I don't think there's anything to dislike about that, because it's in fact really a creamy coffee. Yeah. So maybe help us out with some new ideas. So yes, if you have any ideas for down below, just call this one the orange and chocolate coffee and leave it down below for ideas. So the next one we have is this one. Again, no names for the rest of these ones here, but we'll try this one. This one's very bright, very fruity. with a little bit of earthiness.
Yeah, it's bright, definitely fruity. I would totally agree. Earthy. Yeah, not overly earthy to be unpleasant or anything like that.
Fruitcake.
Maybe fruitcake. I don't know.
We just gotta call it something.
Yeah. For now, if you have an idea for something that's a little earthy,
call this the fruitcake
a little
coffee.
like fruity, and what was the
Slightly sweet though.
slightly sweet? Yeah. So give us an idea.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for that one down below, we're calling that the fruitcake coffee. We're gonna try the next one here. This one's definitely smoky with a little bit of like a graham cracker note.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can totally taste that. Maybe that would be kind of like almost a fall, like, it reminds me of, I don't want to say burning leaves, but yeah, because it's not burnt, but just that campfire, like s'mores.
Yeah, not like s'mores, because there's no like sweet chocolate.
It's not
it's more
super
like a
sweet.
graham cracker toasting thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. Like,
No, it's good
toasted, yeah, like the name. So yeah, if you have ideas down below, call it the toasted graham crackers.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. Smells. It's good.
Yeah. Okay. So next one we have is this one here. I'm gonna try. This one's a little lighter than the rest of them I think we've tried. It's a little more like
Definitely lighter.
More like a light roast. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be a light
describe.
roast. I mean, I can't see what our notes say there, but I would have to believe that's a
Yeah.
light roast. It's smooth. It's not very bold. It's real kind of mellow, and
I feel like it's like a play off of cream with a little bit of toastiness.
yeah, almost maybe a little bit of. Can I try it a little bit more? I think
Yeah.
almost caramely.
Maybe.
It's not super sweet, but
It's kind of like a mellow burnt caramel note, I feel like. Because like toasty and slightly sweet.
yeah, it's almost a little bit tea-like, like a
Like a
mild
caramel
black
tea.
tea. So
Caramel tea.
yeah, it's a little bit tea-like. Well, there is a tasting note of coffee that is tea-like, so I would
Yeah.
kind of describe it that way. So
Well, we're gonna call it the burnt sugar one because it's toasty and sugary.
burnt sugar.
Burnt sugar.
It doesn't taste burnt though, so
I know, but
be
it's just
careful with
toasty. I'm just saying, to call it now, we're gonna call it burnt sugar. So down below, do burnt sugar and something because that's a terrible name. So,
that.
anyways, we'll try the last one here. That one's interesting. It's very, very tea-like.
Yeah, that one's
Like
that was
really tea-like.
That's very tea-like also.
I feel like a Earl Grey or breakfast tea or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could almost be something for somebody who is not like a super big coffee fan. Like, I feel like people who actually like tea, who would say, "Oh, I don't drink coffee, but I drink tea,"
I feel like that could be
would
like
actually
a
like
breakfast
that.
blend.
Yeah, it's pretty mild. You could easily drink it without cream if you're not like super into, like the coffee taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just mild. And I mean, if you're like the diehard, you want your coffee to like kick you in the teeth, that's not going to be the one for you. But if you know people, or if you're that kind of person that you just kind of like the coffee flavor to just be subtle, you could actually drink that one black and still, and save the calories of adding cream to it.
So yeah, if you have a name for this down below, I put down breakfast blend, which honestly is a quite common name, but it really embodies it. It's like a very light, mild tea-like coffee that would be really good for in the morning when you don't want something too strong, if you don't need too much of a wake up, yeah, so, and lastly, we do have a coffee that we are currently selling right now that we just like to do a shout out of.
Yeah, so we wanted to show something and highlight something that you can actually buy right now, because the rest of these are all like kind of in our experimental process. So what we have is we have Kenya, and so Kenya is our newest release of a single origin. We just started carrying it like consistently. We kind of test drove it over the summer, and we also, one of our companies that we private label with is going to be carrying Kenya, Loot Vintage and Supply in Wapaka, downtown behind the library. They're going to have Kenya. We also will have it on our website, so you can go to javajiveroasters.com and purchase it there. So we're going to give you a little taste testing of Kenya.
Yeah, so while she taste tests it and gives some notes, I will read off. So it says Kenya, a wild and mysterious, complex coffee with just a hint of earthiness, and the tagline is there ain't no lying about this coffee. It's truly king.
Yeah, so this one is a bold dark roast, and I would say it has that earthy side of things. So for people who, I would say maybe the closest kind of relative to it would be Sumatra.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a little bit more subtle than Sumatra. It's not quite as smoky.
It's like a Sumatra darkness with a Colombia boldness.
Yeah, and also it's really smooth, and I don't think it has like a bad aftertaste.
No.
But it definitely has that earthiness that is there. So if you like earthy coffees, you like dark roasts, something bold, it's definitely got notes of chocolate to it. Like not quite a dark chocolate, but kind of in the middle, like a little bit between milk chocolate and dark chocolate.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below your ideas. We'd love to have ideas for all of them, or just a few. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned on our website, which is linked on our channel page and also in the description, that these will be coming out fall, winter, if we decide to bring them out. So yeah, stay tuned with these collections, and we'll see you in the next one.